I am back in Canada. It is a hot, hot July afternoon. We have left the city and traveled to St. Jacobs, Ontario, where I'm doing the thing I love doing the most, antiquing. I'm here at the St. Jacobs Antique Market, where we're gonna go in and look around and find some treasure. I'm here with Derek Lioness. Derek is a very old friend who I met at
Black Creek Pioneer Village.
Black Creek Pioneer Village in like 2001. 2001 is when Derek started. 25 years ago. Derek has a Victorian face.
And legs.
So when he put on a costume, I mean, he really looked like he was from the 1860s.
I did. People thought all the time.
As did I.
Yes.
This is what a Victorian lady looks like. So, go ahead. So, the thing is, I'm in St. Jacobs, Ontario. Derek doesn't live too far away from here. I don't antique with hardly anybody. Like, this is kind of a sacred thing for me to do, and I do it alone. But the reason why it's great doing it with Derek is because we have our village experience.
We do.
And we worked with historic artifacts, like on a regular basis. We mixed cake in old bowls.
We did.
And when Pioneer Village people do antiquing together, it's just fun. We reminisce.
And we're like, we had this there, we had this at the village, we used this kind of tool, this is real, this is fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Imitation, reproduction.
And that's where we we just nerd out. So let's start looking.
Nerdy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go. So sometimes when you're doing this, like, you don't know what you're gonna want to buy unless you have a list of things that you're looking for, which I also have. Like, I make a list of what I need at home, what I might want, Ironstone, Staffordshire, certain little tools like a screwdriver. I'll make a mental note. I need this kind of screwdriver, I should look for a vintage one. But the fun thing about this is when you're looking around, you see things that you're just drawn to. And if you're not used to antiquing, or you're not used to thrifting or going into a place like this, listen to that. Like when you're scanning and you're just drawn to something, listen to that and go over and look at it. That's how you develop this practice of figuring out what you like. So I've always done that. And over here, and it doesn't make sense sometimes, it's kind of silly, but in this case is a very old Victorian porcelain doll. There's just something about it that's iconic. It makes me smile. In really old movies, when they show like little girls playing with dolls, they're playing with those kinds of dolls, especially if the movie is set in the 1800s. I want one. Derek's laughing.
I am laughing.
I just do, and I can't explain why I want one, but I do, and I've always had that in my head. If I ever see one that really speaks to me, I'm just gonna get it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but you don't often see them in perfect condition, and her arms and her face are in great condition.
And she gives me Nellie Olson's dolls energy.
Yes, exactly. I was trying to think, what TV show, movie have I seen those exact dolls in? Little House on the Prairie.
Although hers might have been fancier, and those might have been more like what Laura aspired to.
But the faces and the arms are always the same. Like the dress might have been different.
Yes.
But I think that was like the standard porcelain doll.
Yeah.
And that's where I remember in color. It's like Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie. It's a reference point for a lot of Victorian stuff for me.
Because it is and that's a real Victorian doll. I'm going to ask her to open this up so I can look at it.
Okay.
Like this, when something's in a case and it's under lock and key, you just go up to the front and you ask at the front for them to unlock the case, and they have the keys at the front that they'll come over and unlock the case so you can actually look at the thing. And don't be intimidated, that's what they're here for. Thank you. You're welcome. This is why you really have to, I mean, if you're interested, take it out and look at it. Like, I wanted to look at the hands. I thought they were in perfect condition, but look what happened. Like, I didn't see this. Her fingers are broken off. This end is in perfect condition. And then I would look at her head. So the way these were made is the head and the upper shoulders. She's very thick in the shoulders here. that was all porcelain. And then the body is usually linen stuffed with sawdust. That's like the typical thing. And I think that these, sometimes they have porcelain feet, and she doesn't have porcelain feet. So she's not in the running anymore for becoming America's next top porcelain doll model.
No.
No, right, Derek?
No, I wouldn't pick her picture like Tyra.
Tyra says...
No, Tyra says no.
Unfortunately, she
Damaged
goes...
goods.
Damaged goods. She goes, but it's... Oh, this is the other thing. When people ask me, how do you know? How do you know it's old? The two things that I do is whenever I go to a museum, I look in the cases of the museums to look at what museum examples are like. And then, when I'm in a situation like this, where there's the opportunity to actually pick it up and hold it and touch it, which you cannot do at a museum, you do it here. And 25 or 30 years of doing this teaches you something. Like, wouldn't you say, like, that's like, we could pick things up at the village.
Yes.
But it's in situations like this where you really have the option of purchasing this. So they want you to look at it and inspect it, and that's how I learn. Oh, here. So this right here is the perfect example of buying old flatware that's silver plate, which is really nice, but it's very inexpensive. Each of these pieces is $2 each. And it's actual silver plate, and you don't have to buy a whole set. So if you live alone, you can buy a few pieces of each, and you can assemble a set of silver plate flatware for 20 bucks, which is, this is like really what I encourage people to do, because you do something like this and you actually pick out every spoon, every fork, every knife that you want, and then the cutlery that you're using every single day has some beauty and meaning to it.
Are they hard to take care of though?
No.
Do they not get tarnishy?
See, this is the thing that people don't know.
That's what I would think.
Okay,
That's why.
so people have this aversion to silver because of tarnish.
Yes.
It develops tarnish when you don't use it. Like, it's tarnish is the oxidation of the surface of the silver. But if you're putting it in your mouth and you're washing it every single day,
your hands constantly handling it.
Exactly, it doesn't build up tarnish.
Right.
So that's why people are like, I don't want to use the silver because I have to polish it before, like every Thanksgiving. It's because they only use it on Thanksgiving.
And it's sitting in a cabinet.
Yes, and there's sulfuric acid in the air, reacts. I think that's what it is. They'll tell me in the comments section. They always do.
Sulfuric, idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is, I don't know chemistry. It reacts with the silver and creates the tarnish. But if you're using it and handling it, it will stay like this.
Right.
And that's like my silver. I hardly ever polish
because you use it all the time.
I'm using it every day. Silver flatware. Another recent obsession. It's a resurfaced obsession because I was obsessed with this as a kid, and then I kind of forgot about it, and it came back as our oil lamps. These oil lamps are the lamps that we used at Pioneer Village. I had one when I was like a teenager, which was a Reproduction oil lamp, and I used to light it in my bedroom, as one does.
As most teenage boys do.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's kind of a thing. There's something about the lamp light, and then recently I started buying lamps for the barn. Like I have my friend lets me use her barn in Rhode Island as a studio, and when it's rainy and dark, I light these oil lamps.
Creepy.
Beautiful. The lamp light is so beautiful.
Yes.
I just love these, so I've started really looking at them again.
Yeah. Did you know, I learned something at the Pioneer Village, that the ones that have a straight top like this are usually authentic to the era, but the ones that have like the crinkly, crimpy top like these are like a mid-century, 20th century reproduction.
Really?
It's one of these nerdy things I remember. So whenever I see these old lamps, I'm like, oh, crimped top from the 20th century, not the 19th. That might not be everyone, but that's something we learned in the Pioneer Village. We never had crimped top ones.
Is that Jim Hunter?
Yep. So walk around like,
that's nice.
I know he was an ominous fellow.
I loved Jim Hunter.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, so I never knew that.
Yeah, so they told me. I might be, spreading misinformation, but that is what I've heard.
That, I mean, now looking at them side by side, this looks more like what you would see in an engraving.
Right.
Like just the plain top.
Yeah.
I think that these are so beautiful.
Beautiful.
And even when they're not lit, like having the oil in here, there's life to them.
Right.
So one of the things I also do in my apartment is I hide things. And I hide things in storage containers that are beautiful. So my eyes are always peeled for things that can go on the ground, that look really nice. There's something over here. This is it says it's a gunpowder countertop tin. I don't know what that means. It doesn't matter because you're going to store things in here anyways. But it's just a painted tin container. Like I could see this in an entryway or in a mud room, just sort of propped up against the wall, that you put things in that are maybe a little unsightly otherwise. And this booth has some really nice things. Like look at this chest over here, this wooden chest that would do the same thing. Like that like on a bench at the foot of your bed. It's just like a beautiful storage solution that isn't a plastic tote container with one of those plastic lids. Over here, look at this. Oopsie, look at this. This is a beautiful hand-woven basket with a lid. I mean, I could see this in a big bathroom with towels in it. If you have a small, naughty dog, you could put him in here, and when he's bad, you can just, and you open it up. When I look at basketry, I'm always looking at the condition as well. And I really, like when I pick something up because I'm just drawn to it, then I sort of hone in and I start to look at the construction and whether it's still sort of sound, like whether parts are broken and it compromises its sturdiness. This one looks pretty good, but sometimes like the splints at the bottom have broken and cracked. And if that's the case, if you put anything in there, it'll just sort of start to fall apart down here and it'll just keep breaking. Something like this, like you see here, the edge is damaged. And that's not really structural, that's just sort of decorative, but I am conscious of stuff like this. And a basket like this, it's covered in dust. It looks kind of gray and dingy, but this can be revived to be made very beautiful. I have a video on my YouTube channel of how to revive wicker baskets. You wash this, you put it in a shady spot, not in the direct sun, on a summer day to dry, and then when it's dry, you oil it with a mixture of linseed oil and turpentine with a brush. I would do this with a brush and then leave that in the shade for a few days, and this will look incredibly different. It'll look like it's alive again. So I'm conscious of that when I look at stuff like this. Or if you like the look of it like this, you can just wash it off and use it like this. I love booths like this where it's full of old tools. So these booths are individually managed. These booths, every booth belongs to a different vendor. And when you walk into a booth, you can really sort of sense the person's personality. We're in a booth right now that's full of old tools that have all been oiled, but the booth over there is vintage clothing. That's a different person. When I'm in a booth like this, this was like on my list actually, I look at tools that I need for my toolbox where I could actually buy like a beautiful old version. Look at this little thing. So I was just drawn to this because it's some kind of a ruler, but look at how beautiful. look at how beautiful the numerals are on this. It has little brass ends and a brass hinge here, and this, I didn't know what it was until I opened it up. It's a square. Like that in my little writing bag, or drawing bag, sorry. Every time if I were to get this and use it, it just makes the whole practice of drawing nicer, using an old tool. Look at the lettering on the back. Platt & Co., London. I'm gonna sort of dive deep into the nerdiness here of like what I actually do when I'm looking at all of this. I do calligraphy, I do signage, I paint signs, I do chalk signage, and sometimes when I'm arranging the lettering that the proprietor has given me for the sign, I go back mentally into things that I've seen before that are old. So something like this, Platt & Co. Do you see how they wrote the O there? They didn't make the O the same size as the C, and they often did this. It's like a very old-fashioned thing. Small O, underlined, and a period. And that's the sort of thing that just antiquing like this teaches me. I see stuff like this, I plant it in my head, and then I actually use that the next time I have to write something and co. It comes from this practice. I might not buy this, but even just holding this and looking at this served as a source of inspiration for something else. Do you like Patsy Cline?
Love it.
Strange
Something
how you stopped
loving me. Yeah.
Since he
She's
came
heartbreaking.
along. You know, all her songs are the same.
Right, and she doesn't really make new ones.
No. Yeah, because there was a plane crash. It's like the...
Love that.
Yeah, it's bad. It's so good. She's the best.
She is the best. She's the best. Right?
Oh, rug beaters.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they're really effective.
I've never beat a rug, but...
Oh, I've beaten many a rug, boy. You just hang it up and you whack it.
Perfect. Yeah. It's and a steal at $25.
It's a bit much.
A bit much.
But I did see something that Ironstone, like the white plain.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
There's a whole booth. I just love Ironstone. This was made in England for export. Like it was made to be shipped to the colonies because it was very durable. It wasn't decorated, so it was inexpensive. And I feel like even though it's really old, there's something about it, especially the plain patterns that look kind of modern.
Timeless.
Yeah. So I'm always...
So how old are these?
1860s to like 1910.
They look great.
Yeah. This because of this mark is probably 1910, 1920.
Okay.
But this is all I use in my kitchen. And there's a whole booth, but there's like, it's all, like the quality is all over the place. There's stuff like this, which is crazed and stained. And you see how it's dull here?
Yeah.
And then compare, like this is...
smear.
This was in the firing.
Oh,
like that's...
It was always like that.
It was always like that. But then you compare that to this, which is in great shape. Like it's the same, but this is in good shape. And this is not, although some people really like this look.
Right.
Do you like this?
You could put your plant on that one.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe someone did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I do like it. I like a little more color myself.
Yep.
But you know,
like this? Oh, you like on the dishes?
Yeah, like I'm more of a fiesta wear kind of person.
Okay. Right. Le Creuset.
Le Creuset.
I remember.
I like that kind of stuff.
The Le Creuset collection.
Yes. But this is good if it's prolific, if it's everywhere. Well, then you can replace your pieces easily.
It's not everywhere.
Oh, it's not.
That's the thing about a booth.
It's everywhere
like
here.
This. Well, this is the thing. Is like I hardly ever see it.
Oh.
And then when I find a booth where it's all ironstone, it indicates that the owner is like an ironstone collector, which I love. But the thing that you also like when it's curated like this and it's an ironstone collector, you're paying more market price.
Right.
Whereas when you find one piece random in a booth, it's usually like less expensive.
Yes, it's like it's not part of a collection.
Yeah, so it's not curated. So,
Interesting.
So I mean, in a place like this, like I could assemble a whole set because this owner has done the work. But
you're paying a price for that.
Yes, exactly. But there's some great stuff in here. This is the sort of booth where I find old linens. Like it's mostly china, but then often just sort of, you might not notice because it looks decorative, but over here there's like a rack of old linens, and like I pick this stuff up and I really look at it. This is a linen tablecloth. I don't like this insert in here, but I do love like this beautiful sort of rustic linen. And there are little table runners, embroidered, and this stuff usually is pretty inexpensive. Old typewriters, there's Gramercy Typewriter in New York City where everything has been curated, cleaned, working order, but I did mention when we visited Gramercy that this is an option as well. Like you're antiquing, you're in a place where you see a typewriter and it might be in working order. So what I would do if I was in a situation where I was looking at a typewriter and I wanted to see if it worked, I would go up to the front and ask for a piece of paper and put it in here and actually type and try it out, because there aren't sheets of paper in here, and see if it's working. And then I would look at the price. This is $180. This one over here, I like this one, especially because it says made in Canada. Those tariffs. 160. Look at this thing. It's so beautiful. I mean, even just as a decorative object sitting on a modern desk. Derek, do you have a typewriter?
I know I'm old, but no.
Okay.
I don't. I don't. My mom used to have one from the 60s. I used to play with it.
Okay.
But that was it. They weren't as old as these. These are very like Sunset Boulevard, classic cinema stuff.
Just a minute, you
See
say
here.
you're a writer? Derek knows all the lines. The thing about Derek has a podcast, the Dream Factory podcast, and an Instagram handle of the same name.
Yes.
Tell us about your podcast.
My podcast is about MGM in the golden era of old Hollywood. So if you're interested in that, have a listen.
Yes.
Rajiv is a huge fan.
And what I love about being with Derek is these old movies that I love. I'll say something, like I'll say a line. Derek always can follow up.
Right, with the next line. That works also with the Golden Girls.
Yes, every single line. Picture it. Sardinia, 1947.
Oh.
Sophia, I thought these stories always took place in Sicily. Can a person go away for the weekend? Derek knows all those. But
yes, I do.
I love when I say the movie lines.
Like All About Eve?
Oh yeah, like all
Right.
about Eve lines, and Derek can just always finish it off.
Yeah.
And then he goes into the history of making the movie. He'll give me like movie trivia about how the movie was made.
I'm that annoying.
He
Yes.
knows, he's obsessed. And so it's very great that you started this podcast because it's fascinating.
Thank you.
You check it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's wonderful. I found something. Okay, so when I worked at Pioneer Village, I worked in the Halfway House, which was a hotel halfway in between Kingston and Toronto. And it had a kitchen where people would eat in the 1860s. So when I worked in there, we still baked bread and cookies and cakes, and we covered the food with something like this. It was just a screen, and I loved that thing. Every time I used it, I thought, look at the beautiful, simple shape of this screen. But it was just a beautiful thing to hold and use, and I've never seen one outside of Pioneer Village until today. And I was just marveling at the construction of this. This thin, fine metal screen has been held into place with a double casing of like aluminum or steel or whatever this is. But I'm gonna get this. I've never seen one like this. It just as an object to even hang on the wall. It's beautiful. I found another doll in a case I really like this one. Let's take her out of her. Wow. So this one has porcelain, her porcelain arms and porcelain feet. The other one didn't have porcelain feet. Let's look at her body. Oh yeah. So, well, so the body has this weird, it feels like polyester, a casing, which I don't like, but underneath it is the original linen. So I'm just like doing my investigating here, and it looks like someone has covered the original old cloth with something that's more modern. And I'm assuming the same has been done with the sleeves. And let's look at how much she is. So she's $89. 1890s to 1900 China head doll with vintage outfit. I love her. Okay, so I found an oil lamp booth, pressed glass oil lamps. That's the thing about doing this is I was looking at oil lamps. I'm loving looking at oil lamps, and then it's like the Mecca of oil lamps. And this booth has a beautiful array of oil lamps, and they're all in really great condition. They've been cleaned, they're well documented. I mean, this dealer, it seems like they really know their lamps. St. Lawrence hand lamp, colorless, ribbed base, applique handle, circa 1870. Look at that beautiful thing. I'm always drawn to baskets, like hand-woven baskets. Oh wow, look at this. That is beautiful. It's just so delicate, but sturdy. Hey, Derek.
Hey. I know what's coming.
That dog's a menace to society. I've taken him to the sheriff to have him destroyed.
Not Toto. Really good, Margaret Hamilton. Excellent,
right? It was this basket.
It was this exact like here, property of MGM, 1939.
Oh, Eddie, don't let him take it away, please. You can't.
That's really good.
Why did he talk like that? What is that accent, and why was it like this?
Why? Well, it's arguable that Judy Garland did not have a transatlantic accent, but she was just being vulnerable. But they thought the transatlantic accent that Katharine Hepburn has.
Like talking like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
Well, that's more of a sassy, like Mae West.
Okay.
But if you talk about the old movie accent, it's like a mix between Atlantic and American. British and American.
That's so it's somewhere transatlantic.
Yeah, like it's somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic. It was considered fancy in the way people sort of like dramatically spoke in plays. So it's the last holdover of that is that era. Whereas I think you're just doing a really good Judy Garland, which I appreciate.
Can you do a transatlantic?
Probably not.
Can you try?
Can I try?
Yeah, talk about this basket.
Yeah. It's wonderful, dear. That's all I got.
You're not an actor.
No, not an actor. Despite the looks, not an actor.
No, it's hard.
It's hard. I've been asked many times.
You could have made a living.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead now, destitute.
Well, don't you love this?
I love it. It's beautiful. It's a little dusty and dry, but
yeah,
aren't we all?
Speak for yourself. Nothing dry about me. So the little doll is in here, and the food screen. These two things are going to travel back to New York, a successful expedition. More than taking things home, it's really being able to look at these beautiful old things and hold them and analyze them. That's the joy in this. It's a hunt, and it's a hunt to not necessarily acquire something, but to experience it. That's what we did today. We experienced wonderful old things. Try it yourself.